Guitars and Lydia Lowe, aka Metal Mom, here at the Ramada Inn, and we're about to talk to Mike Tramp, and he's going to be here tonight actually at the Paramount. And I'm doing this interview for KJAG Radio. All right. Okay. And
good stuff. How are you?
Hi.
All right. Before we get started, I wanted to ask you too on this, but what brings you to Salina?
Well, that's just the next stop on the tour. I didn't really necessarily have too much to do with booking the individual shows, except for I hand over a period of that my agent can book a tour, and then he try to get a routing that sort of seems we're going in the right direction. I don't go too many times backwards, and all over the place.
Oh, okay.
So I started in the north, and now I'm working my way towards Los Angeles through the many states.
Great. All right. Well, I do have some questions. I know you're from Denmark.
I was born and raised in Copenhagen, Denmark. That's correct.
Okay.
But I came to America in 1982. Lived here for 21 years. Then I moved to Australia, and since then I've been sort of on the run.
All right, and you have been busy. A lot going on. It looks like since like 1978 when you had your first band, Mabel.
Yes, actually I started in 76 with that. Yes,
76.
And so well, yeah, we're coming up on 37 years.
My goodness.
I know.
That is great. That's great. Yeah. Well, my favorite time was White Lion. I had oh my goodness. I had Pride. When the Children Cry, you guys just completely killed it with that. I mean,
yeah.
It was just awesome and great. And I see here that White Lion did disband in 1991. You've been solo for quite some time now. But I'm also looking at here, it says New White Lion. So, are you solo and you also still have the band?
No, I am solo, and that sort of attempt of going out and doing like a new White Line, which I did a tour in 2005, and I did another one in 2008, and now looking back at it, personally I admit that I regret doing that, because it never felt right. And also the main thing was that when I disbanded and broke up White Line in 91, it was because I was over and done with that. So, but sometimes things changes in your career and stuff like that, and there's ups and downs and highs and lows. And I sort of, got talked into try this new version of White Lion, of going out and see if there still were life in that kind of thing. And I just felt completely like a fish out of water. When I was doing that, it just never felt right. I mean, we did a tour, and I did a new album called Return of the Pride, but the sound of White Lion and the real White Lion disbanded in 91, and that's just the way it is. And so once I closed that down, I returned to what I had started in 95, which is my solo career.
Oh, I see. Okay, and you're really liking that.
Well, yes, I do. I mean, it's if we for once somehow just forget about the business side of it, I'm really just being me. I'm really just being an artist, like say in a garage sitting and painting a picture because he's got it in him, and not necessarily wanting to sell it. I'm doing music because I have music in me, and then I ended up recording it, and then I like to share it with the people. But one way or another, I will always be the same person and do it for me first, and so on. So because the business and the world has changed, quite an amount from how it was when I broke in 1987 here in America.
Right. And that's really good. And you have, like, your heart is in your music. It's not just, I love that. It's not just the business aspect. Your heart is there. You really love doing what you do.
Well, it's just one of those things that has sort of come with time as I've matured and evolved. I can't say that that's how I felt in 1987 when I had one thing on my mind. But now as I go along, I only just do what feels right to me as a person, not what's the right business decision, not what the right thing like that, but all about how I feel as a human being.
That's great. That's great. All right, you have Stand Your Ground, and now is that your? You did that April of 2011. It looks like. I wanted to ask you. You got to tour with, and did you get to hang out and stuff with Ronnie James Dio?
Yes, I toured with Ronnie James Dio in '93, which is just one of those other great memories you have in life of some of the other ones I've ended up touring with and stuff like that. And it's just it's just part of your life that part took
that
place.
Is so great. That's so great.
Which of course led me to write a song for him, in the summer of 2010.
Any chance you do that tonight?
You never know.
I never know what you're going to do, huh? All right, that sounds great. Okay, so your new solo album is Cobblestone Street, and it was released on April 8th of this year. Okay, now is that going to be available tonight? Or?
That is what I do tonight.
So
yeah,
that's what you do.
The album is available. Actually, yeah.
Really?
I'm not going to promise too much because I'm running out. I only got 8 copies left. It's been very successful selling the music after the show. And it's sort of just what it is. Cobblestone Street, when I recorded that album last year, is the one that has started this whole thing about this is where I am today and this is what I do, just me and my guitar. And it's just one of those things. It was an unplanned thing. I just went into the studio, started recording some songs, and then suddenly realized after a week that I recorded an album without planning to record an album. For the first time in my life, just following something that felt natural.
Yeah, it's
without
really
thinking about the consequences of good or bad, or if it works or not work. Following my heart and saying, this is me.
That's great. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. All right. I did notice in between Light Lion, you had a band called Freak of Nature, and I think I actually, it was back in the day, I think I actually had that album because I'm more of a metalhead.
Yeah.
And so that was more harder.
Yeah, well, that's a band that toured with Ronnie James Dio in '93. Okay, so that band started in '92 and finished, and we did 3 albums, and it became very successful in the underground of Europe. And it was kind of like, the reason why I broke up White Line is because all that I stood for in rock and roll and that I thought a band stood for, I had lost in White Lion. It didn't exist anymore. So when Freak of Nature got founded, it was all based upon a brotherhood, on a team wanting to go for one goal.
Oh, okay. All right. I definitely don't want to keep you. I know it's probably been a long day, and
it's going to be a longer day
and
tomorrow.
It's going to be
it's no problem with this. There.
I mean,
this is sort of just this is what you do.
Yeah.
And because I'm much closer to the earth on this tour, it feels different. Because it's really just an extension of who you are. It's not really that I'm changing characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to wear my shorts on stage, but that's basically the only difference.
Right. Yeah, I know a lot changes over the years.
And
sure. Your perspectives and everything, definitely change. So, I was going to ask you, since you're from Denmark, I was just curious, how is the music climate and fans' reaction to music overseas different than here?
Well, it is different in one way or in another, and it has changed through times. And now with the internet, it's almost the world is almost one kind,
wow.
Because everybody's got access to everything at the same time. When you look at Americans, and let's just look at America in the 70s or the 80s, radio was king. Okay, and you don't have that same thing in Europe where radio is that powerful. Therefore, people go much deeper into reading and going out and buying the album in that way. So most people that own albums or album collection will really treasure that a bit more as something that is displayed at home than just music to throw in and out of the car and stuff like that. Because Europe is not based upon radio and stuff like that. It's really more about listening to music at home and really taking pride in listening to it that way. And also, like I say, the magazine market has always been much, much bigger in Europe because people really read and are much more in need of going deep in and finding out the backgrounds behind. You know, America at times can get spoiled because it's sort of just like tsunami of rock and roll.
Very throwaway society, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Definitely.
recycling.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. All right. I do see here you have a website.
Yes, I do. And a Facebook.
And Facebook and probably Twitter.
No, I don't tweet.
You don't tweet?
I say the stuff that I want to say in my songs.
Oh.
I don't
okay.
think it's important to have to comment on what color socks I'm wearing or what somebody else says. I do that from the stage when I have the people that I want to listen.
Right.
I think Twitter is ridiculous. It should really only be for traffic updates.
That's good. That is good. All right. So where do you see the future of music going? A good trend, bad trend? Where are we at?
There's no way that you can convince me that it's going to be better. Not we. I don't belong to we. They have become such, a generation of consumption that is disregarding the after effect of grabbing as much as you can and have access to so much within the range. There's not I just realized it takes 7 years to grow a Christmas tree 6 feet. Okay,
really?
This is just an example, okay, and this is some, and there is something about the history of how music took place, or even art and stuff like that, that the process of building and stuff like that, it went along with the respect of art and stuff like that. Now today it's like music is almost on the level of McDonald's in a styrofoam box. It is accessible to everybody in the world at the same time.
Yeah.
It can be downloaded, it can be this, it can be changed by the people that you can take it home and re-edit it and stuff like that. So there's no way that artists, I mean, of course talent will keep going on, but everything will only last for a very short time before it gets replaced. There will never come another super band. There will never be a Led Zeppelin. There'll never be an Elvis. There'll never be, everything will be exchanged within a year.
Yep, I agree.
So you can say it in many ways. You can say, oh, it's too bad. It's just, thank God that we were part when it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminded me, there was a thing on Facebook, and it said, I may be old, but I got to see all the cool bands. So it was good, yeah. And that's really, really good. So what are we going to see tonight? You're going to be at the Paramount in Salina, and
you're not necessarily going to see a lot. You're going to hear a lot. And the stuff you hear, I will almost swear on anything that it's going to reach you in the right place.
All right, that sounds.
It's like, there's a lot of bands out there selling beer. I touch your soul.
That is. You always have, even when.
Now it's just, you know what it is? It's just sometimes. It's just that maybe you were two things at the same time, and now it has caught up to and become one. And it's the knowledge, and it's what I'm also projecting tonight is the 37 years of experience. And it's stuff that I thought I had when I was 26 years old, but I didn't. I had to live this life to write the songs that I'm now singing, and with the lyrics that talk about life and all that stuff. Even though at times I did manage to put in a couple of key songs in my career, that sort of represents who I am today too. Like When the Children Cry, Cry for Freedom, Lady of the Valley, stuff like that are deep in lyrics. And what that really in reality represent is that's the earliest sign of who Mike Tramp was going to end up as. And the fans know that, and that's what's great.
That's what matters.
That's the true reward. Platinum albums on the walls cannot give me what the praise gets from when I come out and talk to the crowd after the show and sell a T-shirt or two.
That is great. All right, we're looking forward to your show.
You're very welcome.
Definitely.
Thank you for the.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the support.